produced it, and I dabble in a lot of magic, and we just all have like it's just part of like the whole kind of
like that answer.
It's part of like the whole like kind of like if you know the Dose Money history and shit.
Right.
We back again.
It's been a while, man. It's been a while.
Color Radio. We are Connect. We say studio or compound.
It don't matter.
Connect.
It don't matter. We here with something new.
Studios on the board. S. Carr, the best engineer in the game, in the building.
Squad.
We got a new look. King Mauler in the building.
Squad.
Oh, and we have a special guest.
What's happening, y'all? On Goldfacemoneywatch.
Goldfacemoneywatch,
young man.
Of the Sykes.
Hey.
And he's back. He's back.
Welcome back, bro. Welcome back. As you can see, we are in new digs. I am very proud of these upgrades. I got the whole team here for the first time. I don't think we've had Sample God, S. Carter, King Mall,
Like he's on frame on my live.
all in the room. Yeah,
I can't tell.
Yeah, I'm not in frame. I'm a little curved off on the frame.
Maybe you could tilt the mixer just a little bit.
I see myself.
That's-
How do we
again?
gonna get everybody in frame on
The
live?
text covering you, like, but you're on there.
Yeah, I'm in there.
But
I see half of Juice, I think.
As we are multi-shotted, camera shotted now.
Yeah.
I got angles. We got angles. It's angly in this bitch. Goldface.
yeah.
Would you like to do a top 5? You haven't been here in a minute.
Yeah.
Top
I forgot
5.
y'all
Top
too.
5 anything. Top,
Revive.
Start out with that.
top 5. You can do top 5 shoes, top 5 foods you've eaten over the places you've been. I feel like you're a well-traveled man. Because look, there's
Top 5 favorite places to perform,
it's
or your
that don't know
most
you.
memorable
Like,
places.
to me,
Right,
you're a
right.
legend, but this is
Yeah.
the first time some people are seeing you.
Right,
And this is the first episode of like what, season 7? How many?
I don't know, bro. I think there was like 8 or 9.
We motherfucking past the syndication stages now. They gotta give us that friends.
Man.
Yeah, they gotta. Yeah, they
said
gotta put us
213?
on that with TBS nightly. We gotta be on a Medea check. But top 5 anything, they gotta get to know you still.
Ooh, we need to go to Terrence.
All right, I'm gonna do.
We need to
it's
go
a
to
lot
Tyler
to see,
Perry.
but I'm gonna just go with my first. What's in front of my face? I'm gonna do top 5 liquors.
Okay.
Jim Beam, number 1.
Okay.
Number 2, Tito's vodka. Number 3, Casamigos mezcal.
Okay.
But
That's on me.
But like the mezcal though.
Yeah,
like
it's
the
not the-
smoky one. Yeah,
Yeah, it's not the one you turn up with. It's the sipper.
Shit, no, I drink that shit out the bottle. Like
There you go. It's one of them.
4 Seagram's gin and 5. It's called. They always tell me like, oh, the Bullet, like, but I think it's Bouillet bourbon. Like, you feel me? It's another whiskey that's like more if I want like a nicer whiskey. I don't like Jack Daniels all like that or whatever. But
There was a
Oh, what is it called?
liquor that we used to get and go to parties with called Vox.
Yup, big dumbass bottle.
Vox was like
vodka.
Yeah.
vodka, but it came in a bottle this big.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just one of them things that was
It's
just for show.
diluted, or
It was super
It
low.
didn't matter. It was just
super
for show.
low. It was like $40 type shit.
We should have came with 4 of them bitches for
We
real.
should have came with
should-
one, but we can only afford one of them.
Damn. Okay. You know.
Cause we
two
bought
of
so
them.
many
It was
bottles
two of
though. No, we bought so many bottles.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No, I'm gonna add a 6 because it's an unsung hero. No, it's just a diluted. Because in Cleveland, I put this on my story. I put this on my story the other day. Like in fucking Cleveland, it's hard. Like we don't really have a lot of liquor stores. So like, you know what I'm saying? Like the gas station diluted like Kamchatka vodka is like an unsung hero to me because like sometimes I really don't just want beer. You know what I'm saying? I take the watered down vodka because that's just water and vodka. You're not adding.
Yeah.
Have you ever tried Uncle Nearest?
No, I'm not here.
Uncle Nearest is the original version of Jack Daniels. So you might like that a little bit better though.
Right.
Yeah, you might like that a little bit better.
Damn.
Mm-hmm.
Original version. Like what you mean?
So Jack Daniels was taught how to make liquor by a dude named Uncle. Well, his street name was Uncle Nearest, but it was like Nathan something.
Right.
Anyway, him and his family used to live on a farm.
Right.
Bottom line, making liquor. They taught everybody how to do it. So he was one of the proteges.
Oh, damn,
he the
that's
one took it,
crazy.
put his name out there, and then Jack Daniels first. Now his family came back and it was like, all right, here's the original recipe. Now you got Uncle Nearest, and that was out.
And Jack Daniels was being a real one, or the family was being a real one, and letting them distill and do their thing and be like basically the parent company
I
to
would
them.
hope so, damn.
Exactly, yeah, but like some would be like, no, fuck you, like whatever it is, it is what it is.
Shit.
But great to have you back, sir.
Yeah.
I studied up on the new stuff,
Oh yeah.
the bad trip page,
Yeah.
and it's a lot of questions we have for it.
A little bit.
First of all, I was trying to explain to people why I like you so much as as an artist, and they're like, I don't get it. Is he like screamo? Is it like, no, it's different because he got bars. You got to really listen to what he's saying. It's like, no, I ain't trying to like, no, but you got to. And the older stuff was probably a lot harder for people newer that wasn't into it.
Okay.
But the newer stuff, you're rapping very clearly.
Yeah.
The beats are still hard. I listened to Believe in Magic which
Shout
is
out
great,
Believe. He produced
shout out to
it.
Believe, because one of my favorite producers in the city and the world for real, because he's always making hard beats. But the fact that you're, I don't say coherent, a lot of it I feel like was freestyling back in the day. It was a lot of you going in there and feeling the vibe of a lot of it.
Feeling the vibe, yeah, for sure. But it depends what era. Like I was a big writer at very first, for sure though.
Okay.
Like my early shit, even if it sound like that, like maybe I was like vibing on the mic, but I'd say like 2013 to 14, I was a big writer.
Big, okay.
So that was like Thumb Nugget time, right?
Oh, and that was stretched back earlier to like 11 to 13. Like,
Okay.
11 to 13,
Yeah.
It's very precise now. I feel like you're very confident in who you are and confident in the
Ain't no other way it could be for real.
confident in what you've experienced. Like even how you rap is more so like past tense. I've done it. You can't keep up with how I've done it.
Facts.
And it's one of those.
That's crazy you say it like that.
It's one of those because again,
Yeah. You got to show that.
I was really listening to this stuff, and some stuff was like, I'm trying to catch. I hear 10 this, 100 tabs here, and then that's all I hear from the verse. And I'm like, he said some shit in it. I know
He said some shit in it. He
But
said
now
some
I'm like,
facts.
no. He like you're carving out another lane. I feel like, and do you feel like you're finding new fans, or your old fans, or
yeah, for sure.
growing
Like,
with you?
I mean, some of them, yeah, and that's like, dang, one of the, some of them for sure. And that's,
You can grab it.
oh yeah, no, that's one of the things I'm definitely most appreciative of. Is like from like early on, like I've been blessed to be one of those artists that like, even though I don't do like the numbers that certain like other people do, like I've always had like that cult fan base. You know what I'm saying?
Has any fan ever impacted you anyway?
Oh my god, like bro, like no, I could get that. That's so far away. Shit to even talk, like.
You don't remember the first stories he told us about, like the like him wanting to smack the fan and all that because you
wrote it. Blacked out. Yeah, no, I mean, no, the shit with the fan shit. It get deep. Like at a certain point, like some of the like day one fans almost is considered like, like I put trust in them to a certain extent, but I also, what I'm saying, went to jail behind a fan telling on me, what I'm saying? But that's not considered a fan. I'm just saying to people that's like, genuine,
really
like,
support her and want you to see.
I definitely
see you do
had
good.
some like hardcore cult fans, but I wouldn't even know where to start. Like maybe we get into it, but you know what I'm saying? We were still like earlier on with the
you carving out a new lane and finding.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like just really ever since I got out of jail, I looked at that like as a new chapter, just period. Cause, I would pop out a couple times. I just seen, what I'm saying, kids are, especially in like the type of, I guess, age group that's really like, being
Moving
fans
out.
of shit, like
buying tickets, buying merch.
That should refresh kind of every
it's a new 18-year-old. going to college, trying to find themselves,
So
getting into a new scene.
So definitely, just to keep it 100, it's just as many like fair weather fans of any era, like fans that did not make the cut into the new eras because they was just in that moment of they partying college life when this was what I was making, you know. But
there was a point in time where I would say that Lil B is the best rapper of all time, and I'm wearing a pink bandana and going hard for him. But now
I still love Lil B.
Exactly, I can respect what he did and his new stuff. If it relates to me, it does. If it doesn't, it does. But it's the respect of I know what you did. I know what you did as a person in the culture, affecting
and how
the culture
you impact the culture,
and how you impact the culture and everything. So with Bad Trip, is this your label? Is this a collective? Is this? I know it's a page. I know it's more than just you on the page, and I'm seeing more people on the page.
Yeah, you know how I am though, because that's why I chose to come out here though, because and I did want to tell that story first, because just keep coming back to the same questions, because I be on tangents. But one of the reasons I wanted to come on here was because like I already had like a feeling that I wanted to like update everything. Like it's been a little minute since the last like interview I did for real. And then I was on the phone with my bro that's in jail right now and shit. He in prison, and he was telling me. So I listened to his because he got a lot of times, and he was, you know, part of like it's really like my like, you know what I'm saying? Like
close.
He you know, but he always been like a not like, you know, tell me what I need to hear even when I don't like it sometimes. And he was telling me kind of what you just was saying too. People need to hear you talk more for real. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Because even if you look at the videos, it has so much character in it. They like if they just hear you too.
But it could be a lot of shit of a lot of guessing and a lot of and I like that mystery. Like I'm fans of like certain artists that do that. Like But at the same
time,
I
got lore though. You have it. You definitely have it. And in this generation of fanship, that they want you to be on stream playing GTA with them or something like that. Or they want
exactly.
You to,
so a lot of people close to me have been trying to push me into that direction for like a long time, but I'm just still kind of the type of person that's like, I'm so like OCD and like specific with my art that I just can't always, I don't like that. You know what I'm saying? I think people, I think what I present to people, like, cause I'm aesthetically curating everything at the point of what you talking about, like the newer back, like I'm doing the videos, the beats, you know, I'm kind of curious, not that I don't work with other, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, like Believe just produced that project, but like, you know,
feature heavy person.
You know what I'm saying? But for what I curate as like the Bad Trip aesthetic and stuff, I can't necessarily like, I don't like just that like thin line. It's probably the only time my Instagram has been live, and I couldn't even tell you. Maybe when I do a show, something like that. Right. I don't like to just like.
And those, but those moments count. Like that's a moment where those like, oh snap, I'm gonna come listen to whatever he's talking about right now because this is the.
Does that also make your work more rare too?
Yeah, I mean for sure, but I'm definitely in a mentality right now that I'm trying to. Go back to, I've always been a high output artist, but I'm trying to really in the next coming months be a very high output artist because I feel like that's just where shit is at right now. But sometimes I fight with being a perfectionist or just being like, always trying to outdo my last video to where, so that's why I'm about to really make like a second channel, all type of shit. But anyway, I was on the phone with my bro, I say he just telling me that to like, you know, you need to just go do an AMA and shit. I was like, bro, Instagram be so lame with the like algorithm and how many, you can never guess who's gonna see your story on it. Like I'm not, and he was like, no, I do an AMA on, like it's just a period. I don't wanna do it, pick the wrong time and not have the right people involved and shit. Like I'd rather get an interview.
I respect you coming at us too, because that means a lot. Again, we talked about this on the previous episodes. Y'all go check those out. But you really were one of the first ones to give us a shot at doing this rap stuff with other people. And we watched y'all early stuff. It was like, no, we need to get to this level to be legit type shit. So to even have you here and to see how far we all have come is super dope. And I appreciate you again for coming. And it's a testament to like, oh, that groundwork that we did put in is paying off.
No, but then, and then just the fact that how, when you responded with what you said, that's what I was going to say. It just was like, God for real, because it's like I'm on the fucking jail call with my bruh and shit, and he telling me like, you need blah, blah, blah. And I was like, you know what? I think I'm gonna set up an interview. Look, I was like, I think I have something in mind because I was just really thinking about it. And I was like, the type of interview I want at this period. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, and I just figured, I felt like, you know, yeah, y'all are really, you know, that had that day one, like knowledge of what I'm doing and would do the research and ask the right questions of what I'm trying to, you know, express right now. So I hit you up just to see. And then like, you know, when you said, oh yeah, we just moved into a new studio and everything. So it'll be the first one at the new studio. I was like, oh yeah, that's perfect. I already know it's meant to be. Yeah,
it's meant to be.
Exactly.
That's fire.
And those things we can track. Come on, it's 213 episodes now.
Yeah.
But we can track these moments.
Those could vibes too.
It's the vibe. It's the moment. It's the knowing because this. You saw how long. You know how the behind the scenes with. But like it's those growing pains to be like, no, I know that this is gonna. It's gonna be that look. It's gonna be that different look. It's gonna take it to the next level type shit. The project again.
The Believe in Magic.
The Believe in Magic. The cover is amazing.
How'd you come up with the name?
Well, because Believe produced it, and I dabble in a lot of magic, and we just all have like it's just part of like the whole kind of
like that answer.
Dose. It's part of like the whole like kind of like if you know the Dose Money history and shit. We were very early on to like the. You know, it's always been a couple.
The manifestation of everything.
Just, you know, but we got like deeper into it than that. We definitely like started getting into the more like conspiratorial, but also like our own practice of like sorcery and shit like that. And like spells we would do to like where like.
You guys are wizards?
Yeah, like.
Warlocks?
But we was like very early on to like unlocking certain like powers of the universe. Damn, what my phone said low battery.
Yeah.
They don't want me to talk about it.
Yeah. Well, they trying to get you. They trying to Joe Rogan us right now.
I was saying last, but nah, like, but so the thing with the Believe in Magic shit is the only other two. I mean, it's only 3 songs. But like,
I was going to ask you the
Believe produced it, and then. You know, Bando, Sporty Red, and Kick on it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so that's Dose Money, like, you feel me? So it's really like a Dose project, essentially, like a kind
it's
of
the energy
for the
of
day one, for the day one fans. It's like
so that's a great segue. It's no breakup of Dose Money. It's just more of an evolution of the Dose.
No, facts. Definitely.
It's a different dosage.
Definitely that. Like, you know, like you could just look historically, like rap groups. With 5 people, like groups, bands, like period, don't stick together where there's one singer. But like, you know, with rap groups, you basically looking at it.
You pray for 2 albums at least.
Like,
yeah,
like that's a lot of egos. Like, and everybody that want to go in different directions and shit. Like, oh, my bad.
Thank you, appreciate you.
But
yeah, so that's great to hear. For like how you said, for the day one people, they can hear the elements of because. Believe is one of the best producers I've heard. And you can hear just by the intro the first 3 counts of it, you're like, ooh, it's about to be some shit. So
yeah, no, he really brought the heat on that one too, though, for sure.
Again, the cover's hard. The beats, if y'all have a chance, go check out Bad Trip Page, which is a great name. I'm surprised you had it.
I appreciate it.
I'm surprised you
I want to shout out the other Cleveland Believe projects too. He made well, he got a raw ass one with Ball for L and another one coming out. I don't know if you know that one. And then Sporty Red, Bando, like they just dropped some shit called Loading. That shit go crazy as fuck. And then Big Kick, I
gotta get
Kick.
Believe on this bad boy for real.
Yeah,
like he gotta tell his story for real.
Yeah,
the
facts.
man behind the board.
For real.
He's been the man behind the camera for a while.
And the camera. He's one of them. He's one of them ones.
And then my big bro Kick Dose Big Kick, you know, him and Believe just dropped his follow up to like he only got 2 like solo albums out, and the first one was like mostly produced by the first one was like me, Believe, and Bando, like all this one I think it's like Believe, and then like I think like Zan, like 100 Band Zan has a couple collabs on it, but it's mostly
100 Band Zan.
Yeah, that's bro. Like I think it's like, but that's his like follow-up project. It just dropped. It's called Real is Rare. Kid, that's my big brother. Like that shit raw as fuck on some like literally like that shit one of the hardest, like just on some, but people gotta catch up, you know what I'm saying? And then,
it's I'm glad to see that it's possible for people to catch up now.
Yeah.
Like there's enough outlets for people to find you and be like, oh, it's a actual
for sure,
catalog.
especially when you start like documenting and keeping track of like document all this. And real quick, and then the last one I want to say too, Slim Slater, like you know what I'm saying, the Believe in Slim Slater project. That shit go.
Slim Slater,
That shit go crazy as fuck too. Like I listen to that shit every day.
That sound like some slash, like that shit sound raw. Slim Slater. I think of H Slater but slimmer.
Moving forward with. Okay, I'm sorry. Ball had a question about some young ladies on the Bad Trip page as well.
Yeah, what's up with the two chicks going in?
Because they was hard
today.
Yeah, it just dropped.
Yeah, that's Nixie and Underqueen. They go crazy. They go hard.
Okay. Did you sign them? Did you do a feature?
Are these LA friends? Are these Cleveland friends? I don't know where you're really located. I don't want to tell you whereabouts, but
are you scouting now?
We was in LA when we did that. Fucking Underqueen. She from Cleveland. Like she got a little buzz in the city for real. And then Nixie. You know she from Cali. Like we've been rocking for like 5-6 years now for real. You know, that's like, you know what I'm saying? We do everything together. So like, you know, that's who be shooting a lot of the videos that I edit. And you know what I'm saying?
She's been the girl in the video. We're like, oh, who this girl in the video doing this?
She like super like multi-talented. Like she like, you know what I'm saying? She
Amuse.
You know what I'm saying? She do all that. Like, you know, her singing shit raw too. Like, you know what I'm saying? But she definitely hold it down on the camera. Like, cause you know, I can't shoot my own video.
Exactly.
Like, you know what I'm saying? It'd be like, yeah, we definitely got the teamwork.
A good person on good person on the set. Sure. Now, with your solo projects, are you, because I don't want to say would you want to go towards the more so getting like mainstream quote unquote artist on it? Is that the
Oh yeah, cause you know I'm a producer at the end of the day. I ain't gonna use the word mainstream. Like, I ain't gonna never fuck with nobody that I feel like is on some corny shit. Like you feel me? But the way I produce, like anybody that I'm a fan of, like, you know what I'm saying? If I'm definitely trying to always progress the level like to where like I could like be that type of, you know, like how like Ye or just even like just other producer rappers or just producers like can put together a project that. But I would say like a lot of times on my solo projects, I have a very like Kanye like approach. Just even as far as like the people I know, like the homies that I make music with and shit, like to where since I made the beat, it's not always emphasis on like
you having to go hard and being the best rap verse you ever did or something like that.
But I just mean as far as like you know what I'm saying, everybody in, like my GFMW series projects, like GFMW 1 through 4, like they're really a lot like that. Like it's a psychedelic journey.
Bro, that's
you're supposed to put on from like start to finish.
I had that on my my first was with the iPad or the iPod Touch.
Which number?
Oh, bro, I see the graphic. It's the little guy. It's the
oh, you're talking about the G Cap.
Yeah.
Oh no, that was my first mixtape.
Okay. That's the one I like.
Super deep.
That's one of the ones where that
first ever Goldfacemoneywatch project.
That cover sticks in my head for a long time. It's one of those things where I think about.
Yeah, Believe drew that shit. That little cat with the high cat, the pink cat.
When I started.
I do remember that.
When I started experimenting with the psychedelics and everything, I started to realize what like these visuals meant. So like certain things. No, for real, because like y'all were really telling a story that I and most of my friends could not relate to. And we're like, man, like I wonder what shrooms are like. I wonder what the dose is. Right. So when I actually did experience it, I'm like, oh, they were really putting the game in the motherfucking in the music. If you was listening to it for real, if he was really in the mix, he was like, I get it. I get it, definitely. Oh, good times. This is good times. So what is the next move for you? Are you out in the Cali verse and you doing the Cali thing right now?
Yeah. I live in LA, but I don't want to put on my
Yeah, right.
But yeah, I live in
career wise, are you so you're West Coast bound and you're doing? Are you doing shows out there? Are you kicking up? Is this the EP to get it? Are you trying to get signed? I didn't even ask you that. Are you even looking to get signed?
I mean, like the Believe in Magic EP wasn't even like, I'm saying, like, you know, like I said, I'm a high output artist. Like I just had dropped like a rock album called Elemental with all threes for the E's or whatever. Like a month before that, that really was like that really was like one of my like proudest like artistic accomplishments.
Okay.
But like,
how many tracks on that?
Like 10.
Oh, okay. So you really put it in.
Yeah, you put it in. That's why he said,
yeah, I played like every instrument on it and shit.
But
okay. You know what I'm saying? It's got like 2 Ariel Pink features, Nixie on there. It's got some shit, but it's a rock out. Like it's like all, I don't like to use that word because like rock and rap really the same thing.
Here's my question.
It's a guitar driven album because I'm a guitarist and a bassist. So
was it Electric Sunshine? Was that? I mean. No, is that the style of it, or
I wouldn't say in that style. Okay, maybe some of the. It's a lot more like jagged than that. I would say like,
because again, I'm a deep cutter on you. I'm a deep, so you got to ask those questions for the people that really know.
Like that's still you could hear like the early like Goldfacemoneywatch rock production, but the homie that was doing the vocals back then, this fool Ricky, like he had a more like. You know, like pretty voice. You know what I'm saying? Like
it's more gritty.
I still come more like me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna give it a shot. I ain't listened to it yet, so I'm gonna give it a shot because again, I appreciate the creativity of it, like the bending the rules, the even just off the way you're structuring your verses now, where he would. Like you'll get a different tone or a ad lib, but now he's putting it in a verse where it's a compliment to it. Is pushing it forward, and I was like, oh, this is mature. Like Goldfacemoneywatch. This is the one that can be marketed.
Pinky out.
If you really want to be real, it's the one that can be put.
And that's why, honestly, you know, a lot of times, and then people go through like individual battles and shit. Like, you know, me, like talking about myself, you know what I'm saying? As far as like, you know, because some people would try to have you convinced that like rap or just whatever you want to call it, that music is like a young person game in the sense of like, I mean, I'm still young, but I just mean
they try to age you out of it. They try to age you out of it.
But really what it is, what's going on right now is just more of the, you know, the reason that would even be portrayed to people is because like the labels and shit like that have the ability to even paint a certain picture of what's going on. Fucking, you know what I'm saying? They prey on the young, you know what I'm saying? So
the naiveness of $100,000 or 50 grand, you can get them to sign anything.
Well-seasoned vet, you feel like
they're just in a fucked up situation and they want the money, or they are pushing with their career so hard that they're like, oh.
So is it better for you to stay independent?
I can't speak on that because I think the right person can always take that. And if you look at like Thug, like you know what I'm saying, early Thug was like people would be like, how you in this contract, and he answered like in interviews like, I always just knew I was going to take that
Breakfast Club
and flip it to the next, like,
he
you
talked
know what I'm
about
saying?
that.
So yeah, I ain't speaking on it like that. I just mean like personally, you know what I'm saying? When I got out of jail, you know what I'm saying? It was like very like initial post SoundCloud explosion and shit, and just everybody was like, some people even said to me, man, that didn't know I was even in jail because they wasn't the hardest of fans, but they was like, I could have sworn like in that era that just everybody getting swooped up and like, you know what I'm saying, whatever that you would have been like, that God blessed me to like kind of like miss all that. It kind of preserved me to not even, you know what I'm saying? So I don't even have to.
Because you could have got signed to some Fugazi, something where it was like, it was big in the moment.
No, I would have already been past that in that era. Like, it's like, I'm more talking about like, well, I mean, earlier than that, like Dose Money and all that shit, we definitely was on that type of trajectory where like, you know, and honestly, like you only get one like initial interest of like your like virgin energy, so to speak, to not just to like labels, but just like period point blank.
Yeah.
Well, I ain't gonna say you can always keep getting new waves of different fans and shit, especially like an artist like me. Like I shed my skin so much that it's and just keep living and doing different shit that is I'm always keep so it's always gonna be new people that I really don't even play my music, you know what I'm saying? Even if some of the older music has more like stats on it, I don't even care about that. I'm gonna play my new music to anybody that I'm showing my music for the first time. And
that's a wild thought to have too, because you got some shit in that catalog.
That, like everybody, like, would you just pull one out just off of a request?
I show the right person. You know what I'm saying? If it's somebody that like I really feel like can like receive it or whatever, but I don't like to. Some people try to stick you in it. Like when you have like that first initial buzz, like you got to fight against it the whole rest of your career. But so, it was kind of like the forces really like, luckily.
That's the jewel right there. You just dropped the jewel for some people that really don't know what having a buzz is for real and don't know what that type of energy brings.
Yeah, like, and then it's like people always try to hold you to that, or like at this point, I'm just so solidified and unique in like what I still like a lot more people that got to find out about me and shit. But when they start connecting the dots to like the things that I've kind of had my energy in, like just period, that's all like, and that's why it's all like everything eventually just out of Cleveland eventually, the better Cleveland does period, the more like the dots start connecting to like the backgrounds of everything.
There's some dope stuff going on when it all get going. It's gonna be some dope stuff.
Yeah, but
I low key want them to flex on them. Like just put a dot for me. Connect two if you got it.
What was we just saying though?
We were talking about don't do that to me.
At 3.
I gotta ask the Jim
ask the Jim Beam for a second, and I'm gonna search my mind.
Facts. No, because that was when we really was. Well, you know what I'm saying? I mean, we had one member that was. Kick was like 25 at the time, and that's younger than I am right now, but we was like kids, you know what I'm saying, for real. The rest of us, we was like 19 type shit when that shit was like, and we ain't know what was going on. Like, you know what I'm saying? But we definitely, that buzz, that hype was to where that interest was to, we could have took it that route and definitely, if we had kept, to where like, it would be them type of like, you know what I'm saying, them quick little
putting
like
those extra,
and it was kind of it's kind of like a blessing, and we probably would have did that shit. Like it really was a blessing that it just ain't,
because you see a lot of it like now where you're looking at, I don't want to even say names, but certain artists that had a big record, but they could have said, oh no, you got to hear their SoundCloud stuff. And SoundCloud stuff is the real hood, but that hit record overshined everything that they were ever doing. It's like that. I love being able to go back and seeing y'all old shit and being like, this is like, it's good now, but think about it being out then and how different it was.
That's the thing about it that people don't realize about me. Like you gotta like really place the early shit, the reason it even like buzz like that, you gotta place it in its
era.
You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers was still doing like piano beats and like Wiz Khalifa type, like, you know what I'm saying? This
when we found y'all stuff,
the first video I remember seeing, like, you had a Richard
Nixon mask on. That shit is memorable. Like it's really memorable. And then niggas was
popping up down the street doing random shit in black and white. I was like, all right, bet. These niggas on videos crazy.
It's one of those things where you gotta respect the creativity, and it makes you want to do better. It makes you want to be better. And even now where I'm hearing your bars and I'm like, man, like you can't tell me that he not saying all he need to say in this 8-bar instead of a 16, and it's facts. You got to really check the stats.
But like, that's
Twister ain't got shit on him.
But like, that's another thing too. Is like when you first start out, damn, I didn't realize this too. I don't even care the whole thing.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. You got at least you got most of it.
I want the HD version.
Right.
But no, like when you first start out, I would say, I think I've said this before, but like, my first like bars that I like once I really even found myself, because originally it's just like, oh, I'm gonna imitate Juicy J and Lil B. That's what I was listening to at the
Really?
time.
Okay.
And Gucci. Like I'm talking about when I was like 17,
Right,
16,
right,
17 years old.
As you can hear it in the way y'all was
I
popping
did not
shit.
see that coming.
You gotta
see
remember
that coming.
that actual video and how hard they was coming on shit. Pause. How crazy the bars were, because they did look so young, and I don't say proper, but it was the clean haircuts. I don't think you even had any like.
Yeah,
real
I ain't
even-
gonna say on that song specifically, because that shit was just like a topical, like, you know what I'm saying? That was like a topic song, but I just mean like my solo, like what I was doing at the time, like, you know, when I first started, because I was running a studio, you know what I'm saying? That definitely had some like, you know, names
said
in
16,
Cleveland,
17.
like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, when I was like 16, 17, like I would have, you know, like MGK came through. Like I was running out of my parents' basement, but like
Right.
MGK used to pick me up from school and some shit. Like, but like, you know, down there is like all the like if y'all remember, like, I don't know, like Tezo, like Outfats, Kimball, like, you know what I'm saying? Like
the ones.
yeah,
Those are the ones.
you know what I'm saying? I mean, I like Purple Monkey Circus, all that, like,
Ooh,
but
see,
that's more
you
like
bringing up some-
that's more like my family though. Like, you know what I'm saying? But I was saying like, you know, like that's what I'm saying. That's what I was doing. I was like 16, 17, but like I wasn't really rapping. You know what I'm saying? Like when I used to kick it with MGK and shit, like I was a producer, but it was more on a little brother like relationship type shit. I was like 16, he was like 19, but he just like fuck with my aura type shit. But like by the time I
can see that. Yeah, I can definitely see that. Yeah,
Makes sense.
he definitely put me onto some game. Like I'm not, you know, I don't be like, I ain't even gonna speak on that topic, but I just say like, you know, he put me onto some game at a super young age. That was the first person that ever told me that I was going like that I was special. If that makes sense. He was
That's
like,
dope.
he's
No,
like, you know what that aura is that you just see on some people that they're gonna be something, they're supposed to be something. Like,
That's
you know what
crazy.
I'm saying? And I was like 16, so I didn't know what the fuck he was talking about, but like,
That's
you know what I'm
crazy dope. Yeah, that's a good. I mean, because look at him now. So it's obviously he can see the right auras around.
no, it should be true.
That might be a thing. You might need to just place the right auras, as many as you can around you. That's the.
No facts. But so yeah, so I was like, you know, I was trying to like I was making weird ass beats and shit, and then I got you know, when I first started trying to rap, it was like after hours, like after everybody else had left, like I would step to the mic and start experimenting. But I'm just saying it was a very short period of like more like imitation type shit where it's like fucking, I'm about to give up on this. Oh, yeah, I can't give up on that shit. But where I'm doing like
Practicing verses.
like you just saying shit that has nothing pertaining to my actual life, whatever. But then very quickly, as soon as I started going to like raves and shit like that, like
You had a story.
that, I mean, that was like the most earliest on version of it. But like one of the first songs I feel like I like started to find my voice. It was like when I was 17, it was called like My Rave Song. And it was under a different artist name and everything, but it was like, you know, I'm rapping about like, you know, bitches grinding on me while I'm off shrooms and shit. And I was like, this more like, you know what I'm saying? And I had made the beat, and it was a nasty ass dubstep beat, like right when dubstep was popping.
Yeah.
So I was just kind of like, okay, this is more like it for me, like, you know, like where I should go with this shit. But then after that,
studio problems.
once I really started being exposed to like psychedelic culture and that type of shit, but still like at first, that just to segue into what you just said, like at first it still was like I'm kind of channeling what I'm around and what I'm seeing, but like maybe at very first I wasn't the sheet man. I wasn't the person to just like hit up for like large volumes of psychedelics. Like I remember like when I was 18, I was selling like just like ounces of shrooms, shit like that. But I hadn't really like
That's still big to me. I ain't gonna lie to you. Ounces of shoe. I wouldn't even know who to sell it to.
No. I got you.
I couldn't even get them bitches off.
Them bitches was flying, but like,
Oh yeah.
I talk to the right people. I know
the right
dude
people.
who could though. I do know a couple people.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, if I did, I go to that one person.
Yeah, you gotta know a
Go ahead
person.
and push this.
I know a guy. I know a person.
everything always changing. Like, yeah, I ain't even gonna speak on that.
Right,
but
right.
like when I was first really talking about all the psychedelic shit, you know, I would be like close to people that was doing it at a bigger level than me. But then that shit kind of just spiral into itself to then where you start getting this national following. So people gonna approach you like, yo, let me put you on, and they just want to put you on for bragging rights. You know what I'm saying?
That's
So
a
then
wild dynamic.
So then eventually I had kind of manifested like, you know, what I really was rapping about. And then I went to jail for it and stood on it. And so that's why, you know, then I got out and I really was the prince of the psychedelic underground. And then my brother, who really, you know, was kind of behind the scenes of like that aspect of a lot of my career from the beginning, like he just recently turned himself in on 16 years type shit. So
I'm sorry.
yeah, like that shit, yeah, free sack, like, you know what I'm saying? But like he was really like I don't want to say too much, but he was Ohio as far as that shit, like shit not the same. But that's why I don't even be like here, like I don't even be trying to.
It's not the same energy for you.
You know, I don't be trying to do too much. I got some like younger homies. I got some like younger homies that kind of was influenced by me. And so they like full of loyalty to me to where I could kind of like, you know, just, you know, keep shit to the bare minimum of like what, like, you know, I need for my like expansion and shit. Like, right. You know, I don't be trying to, I mean, just period ever since I got out of jail. Like,
we saw you right, I guess, right when you got out.
I probably wanted,
You were even speaking it into existence of like, no, I'm about to be on this different wave. I'm more focused. I'm more ready.
Like it's about the music and the like the platform for sure. Like,
and you spoke on it.
Everything's still recording, right? It's weird not looking at the thing now.
You see the headphones. The headphones will be like, oh,
right.
But what is the top of the year, end of the year looking like for you? Where are we talking about another project towards the end of the year? Are we looking at 2022 for the next phase of Goldfacemoneywatch and the Bad Trip Crew?
I wouldn't call it like the Bad Trip Crew. I feel like the way I want to look at it,
I felt good in the right.
That made me feel like some Star Wars shit, like they're the Bad Trip Crew now.
I don't like really like claim nobody. It's more like, you know, people know what it is that I do, like what I represent. Like to me, it's kind of like, but I'm trying to get it even more to the point by like really like getting super active on the channel to where it's kind of like
artists. Me on the people like the Sporty Red. I like he hard to me. He's hard, so like,
for sure.
I'm trying to get the people more of yourself.
Pause. I'm listening to his music more and get into like what he is, but. I just thought of you're like a gateway drug to new artists on that Bad Trip page because you have such a reach where I'm going to listen because
I don't think it's even like the page is more like putting like a label on it, but I've always been that. Like if you know the history of like Cleveland music, like I've kind of always been that. Like
again, you gave us our first real like beat and feature from an artist that wasn't our friend.
So does the page really has a plot line to it, or is it really just?
No, it's just videos.
That's what I'm saying. It's just you expressing yourself and just putting whatever you think is dope on there.
I mean, like for it to be on that channel, like I have to have either like made the beat or made the. I do all the videos too, but it still be times I do videos for, you know, I get paid to do a video or do a video for a homie that isn't really like the Bad Trip aesthetic. Like, you know, maybe I ain't make the beat, you know, I did it and I, you know, they put on their channel. Or I always tell artists too, or anybody that I fuck with, like that really, if they got their shit going or whatever, I'd be like, shit, like, you know, put on your channel too. But if it's a video that like is really like, you know what I'm saying? And then I always still just like upload, even if that's not what get promoted, I still upload that on the Bad Trip channel because it has such a unified aesthetic throughout. It's like the Bad Trip. I don't know what else to call it. It is like a bad trip.
I feel you. I feel you. I think I might be out of questions, bro. I think this is
that was fast as hell.
Because again, man, I'm just you're talking to a supporter and a fan here. Where I just want to hear more of it. I like I can't even think of the songs now, but I like the rock stuff. I listened to, there was a live performance. It was a lot of ass in it. I clicked it because there was a lot of ass in it. It was like 6 months ago type of video.
Boy, that might have been one of the first shows like back in LA, like when Corona had ended.
It was still masked up in that bitch. But I was like, no, this is what I see you going towards and everything. And like, I was saying, what's your 2022 looking like? Are you just gonna go harder with the music? Are you gonna kick it?
Got any venues popping up too? Any
Um,
outdoor shows and indoor shows?
to me, like, it has to be like the right look for me. Like, they teach you that shit early on. Like, I learned that shit like real early on doing shows like that, like hometown shows. If you are trying to be like a bigger artist and you're looked at on a national platform, like, you got to be selective with hometown shows. So like, the only time I think I ever like wasn't selective with Cleveland shows was like when I was like in a literal band. Like, I was doing a band called the Worms or whatever, and
I remember that. Yeah.
you know, that was like when you playing and jamming, and we was doing a lot of live improvisation and shit. Well, it's not that, but it just was self-fulfilling, self-rewarding. So we had our little cult fan base that would pop out to, you know, as many shows as they could. But besides that, like, you know, the whole mentality was, it don't even matter how many people are here because we're experiencing something magical on our instruments every night. So we're doing it for us. So that's like, and we're practicing, like, you know, if you're going to practice in a basement, you might as well practice for 5-10 people, you know, not every, but that's the thing that's dope about like the band shit. You know, that's why, like, right up until I went to jail, that's what I was like funding. Like, that's what I was like doing what I was doing to have money to, cause it's a more expensive grind. Like, you gotta be in a fucking van and you gotta get rentals. You gotta move equipment around. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just.
How does that affect, how's that different from now than it was then? As far as trying to make the money and do it.
When I got out of jail, like, I got out of jail broke as fuck. You know what I'm saying? Whatever the fuck I had going on, you know, that's how it's supposed to be anyway, to some extent. Like, you supposed to spend shit, like, and have fun and shit. But, like, you know, once them lawyers, like, I had, like, you know what I'm saying, multiple, like, my shit was in, like, 3 counties, 2 states, like, you know what I'm saying? So whatever little shit I had saved or up, because being a kid, like, you know what I'm saying, looking at that shit now, like, that shoebox money, like, that shit not even money in the real world. And I ain't claiming to have that now. Like, I'm just saying, like, I really thought, like, you know what I'm saying, I was taking a lot of risk in those days for, you know what I'm saying, that shoebox money that really, like, a lawyer, a snatcher, especially, like, 2 lawyers, like, you know, whatever the fuck, like, you know, so by the time, and my, like, you know, so my Texas shit wasn't that deep, you know what I'm saying? But by the time they snatched me up in Tennessee, like, that was gang unit, like, they had built a whole case. They had an informant on me and shit, like, so it just was like, yeah, I'm gonna have to sit my ass down. I'm tapped. I already was paying off the Texas shit, but you know, that shit was, you know, but fuck all that. I ain't trying to talk about like. But no, I said this to say, that's what I was, point being, like, a lot of that shit I was putting into doing the band thing because that was like a childhood dream type shit. Yeah. And I'm the type of person, anytime I come into some money and whatever the fuck, I put it right back into the music shit. So even, you know what I'm saying, out in Cali, like, I got all the equipment and shit to, like, throw shows and to do the band thing, when the time comes, but it just still be about, like, you know, making the right moves to elevate a platform. Like, when I got out of jail, I was like, I'm obviously not about to do that shit right now because 1, I need to focus on me, and 2, like, I can't even be, you know what I'm saying?
Something like that, right?
You know, like, and so, like, but yeah, like, with the rap shows, like, that's a way easier way. That's like mic and speakers, like, you could just pop up, like, you know what I'm saying? Do whatever, like, and just period, like, musically, like you said, like, stylistically, the shit changed. Like, you know what I'm saying? The way I was even being way more clear, way more, like, direct with the music I was making. Like, I was just trying to get that point across. Like,
for sure. Well, sir, I think that is it, man. The way we like to wrap up the show, we go around and say what we're reading, watching, or listening to.
Okay, yeah.
It gives the people some homework to go home with. I'll start with King Maul. I know he hasn't done this in a minute. I don't know what you watching now, bro.
Oh my God, I haven't done this in a minute. I watched what's it called, Drug Lords recently.
Okay, that's
very dope. I want this whole little drug lord thing too, so it's interesting that we went in on this part. Also, it was called Cocaine Cowboys.
Okay.
Watched that too. Did the behind the shit. No, it's not behind the scenes. It's called something. Well, basically, like what do all the people in the sports was doing?
Oh yeah, like bad sports.
There you go, bad.
Like
yeah,
they was shaving points.
Yeah, my favorite dude was
race boats and shit.
My
like
favorite
that.
dude was the driver. He smuggled a weed overseas. He got like over the largest amount ever got into America. I was like, bruh. Really? Over like 6.4 million. I was like, damn, that's a lot of weed that you got in. The way I had explained it, how they had the bottoms cut out of certain boats and shit like that. I was like,
oh, he was getting it.
And then he spent his money on race cars.
Really?
And had a whole team that was racing. He was a badass. He was dope.
I gotta watch the rest of the episodes.
Yeah, he liked he liked the third episode, bro.
No, that remind me of I just read the BMF book. Like,
ooh, I'm watching the show.
Yeah, I'm watching the show too. Yeah.
Watching the show.
Oh, it's like a documentary or it's like actors.
It's 50 Cent.
Oh, word.
I
think I heard about that for
and his son,
yeah.
Below Meech is playing his dad.
Oh so shit, that's turn.
Fire shit. It's just fire shit.
Yeah,
pretty good job, except for some parts.
No, he get a little. I don't want to. Oh, and his jaw gets a little loose, like he's trying to act. I don't want to go. It was like, oh, he struggled with that line probably in the actual scene.
The book was crazy as fuck for sure. Like,
I ain't read the book yet. I gotta read the book.
It's just like, cause like obviously everybody know about that shit vaguely, but I feel like we're not the. I mean, like at least I'm not the. I mean, we're all like the same. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like fucking of like really being like super like when that shit was going on. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like definitely my older mind like can understand like what the fuck was going on.
Think about them coming in and being like, you can't buy any bottles. All the bottles are bought out by BMF. Even you can't get any liquor. It's gone.
Like, I mean, that's like the shit. Like, I feel like it transitioned. Like, Gucci and them was kind of, even though they was associates and like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was like Gucci, that whole like era was on its way in kind of as that shit was on the way out, but to where like, obviously like that shit had all crossed paths, you know what I'm saying? Especially with the Gucci Jeezy shit. Like, there's a whole chapter about that in the book, all that, but like, fucking, even that era of flexing though, like I think Gucci said like in his book, that's the other thing. I just finished the Gucci autobiography too.
I read that too. Or I listened to it.
Word. Like he talk about in there too. Honestly, like that era of like BMF flexing, like that was like kind of like a moment in time. That's like Haight Ashbury, like in the fucking late 60s or something. Like you would never recreate that exactly like that ever again. Like, cause
it was a moment. It was
it's a moment. Like them clubs not even media, there no more. There was no social media.
Cameras weren't like
the hip hop police even was, that might have been.
I've never seen a team with a billboard.
I'm sorry, it makes me want to know the whole BMF
It's just random stuff like that where you're like, oh, they're doing something different over there. It's some real, yeah.
But it was just crazy how like the fucked up thing. And I don't fuck with Jeezy like that. I'm not like a Jeezy fan. Like, I always just was a Gucci fan my whole life. So I you know what I'm saying? I listened to the,
it has its moments.
You know what I'm saying? But the way like they described that, it almost made me kind of like feel like that's where Meech fucked. As much as I don't care for Jeezy, I know that he ushered in a kind of a new sound. And I feel like that was one of Meech's biggest fuck ups was he was trying to push Blue Da Vinci so hard, who eventually ended up cooperating, you know what I'm saying? Even though everything Meech put into him. And that was a more old school sound. And meanwhile, he had Jeezy, who was like lower up under him, but still
coming up.
But that he still knew of and was still bumping. Like, you know what I'm saying? They said in that book that like Trap or Die was still on everybody in BMF's playlist while they was doing that shit. You know what I'm saying? So, legitimately, so like it just was like Meech never put the contract on Jeezy, never made it official, never. I mean, I guess in a sense, indirectly, he was putting the bag behind him because Jeezy was being able to do everything he was able to do for.
And if he would have,
but he could have legitimized. All Meech wanted to do was like legitimize what was go legit.
Yeah.
And he ain't even know he had the fucking
had the thing right in front of him.
Yeah. Jerome Road.
You should watch the show on Stars and see how it's been depicted, because they're showing how him and his brother came up and how like the parents are affected. Because I'm new to all of the behind the scenes shit. So,
right.
So I'm like, I'm week to week on it type shit.
Right.
Yeah, I'm saying. So
that was
like
another. Yeah, that was another thing that was interesting to me, was like the relationship with like the two brothers. Like, you know, the thing is like, honestly, when they eventually did get like Terry and Meech, like Meech didn't own nothing. Like that to me was like the craziest like existential like thought in the world, like of how you could be having so much dollars like passing through your hands,
but you can't legally
living
own
this life. But it was a good thing. But it was just, but he technically didn't own anything. He had no possessions, like a Buddhist monk or something. Like, you know what I'm saying? So they was about to give him bond and everything. Like it was just like, you know, some unfortunate shit kept happening. Like people kept cooperating. Yeah. Blah, blah, blah. But like his brother, who honestly, his brother would always criticize Meech's lifestyle because Meech was the one doing the Atlanta parties, blah, blah, blah. His brother was off in LA more tucked, but he was owning shit. He was buying companies and shit. So they had more of a trail.
Paper trail on them.
Yeah.
I'm also watching, because I do a Sunday rotation, but I know it comes out on Wednesday or Thursday, Doom Patrol and Teen Titans. It's an HBO. It's not even Teen Titans. I'm sorry, Titans, which is like the grown up adult strip. And I think you would like Doom Patrol. Doom Patrol is such is like, I don't say because you're the trip master, a trippy show, but it's one of those shows where it's like, oh, this is something to watch right now. This is interesting, very interesting.
No one trying to take a shot right now. Like, you don't drink. Oh damn!
I gotta wake up. See, you're different. I have to be up in the morning. That's why I'm trying to end this now.
Oh damn! I feel it.
I appreciate you coming, sir. You are, again, a legend in my book.
Legend always.
And I always respect you even doing these interviews with us.
And I can only say this one time. I was on the track with him.
Exactly.
This is a hard ass track though.
It's a hard ass track.
And like early SoundCloud too. That
I was about to say early SoundCloud era, as you spoke of. Like,
shit definitely at least got like some thousands on it. Like,
for sure. And that and even in that, I'm gonna end it. Even in that moment, I didn't even see that coming. I was like, oh, this is just going to be a good look for us to have this feature and everything. But people fucked with it. People were like, no, this shit hard. So thank you again, brother. I appreciate you.
Thank you, my friend.
This is Colored Radio. We're in Connect Studio or Connect Compound, Connect Powered by Dope Studio. Sample God, thank you. S. Dot, thank you.
Connect.
Watts, I see you. It's gonna be big things happening. Colored Radio, we here. I'm too short. We out. Play that funky music.